Hey guys, welcome back to Ace Recaps. Today I'm going to be explaining a 2014 Hindi crime thriller film titled, Ungli. The movie begins with an old man waiting for his pension file to be passed by a government official. He gets into a verbal spat with the officer who hints that he needs a bribe to move the document forward. He is extremely dismissive and disrespectful towards the old man. Disturbed by the incident and running out of time to pay for his daughter's education, he gets a heart attack and is hospitalized. Maya, a medical intern at the hospital, hears his story and swings into action. She calls up her friend Abhay, a television crime reporter, and tells him that they found their first target. Goti, a computer hardware specialist, and Kaleem, a garage owner, are the other members of the notorious Ungli gang, which also means the middle finger gang. The four friends nab the corrupt government officials and take them to a running track, strap a bomb around them and tape the whole ordeal. They tell the men that only one of them gets to live. They need to keep running around the stadium, and if they stop, the bomb explodes. They warn the police about what's about to happen and bolt out of there. The police arrive along with the fire brigade and the bomb squad. Exhausted, one of the men falls to the ground, but nothing happens. When the bomb squad checks up on him, all they find is a firecracker. The Ungli gang are a group of vigilantes who have taken the law into their hands to fight and put an end to the corruption in the country. The next day, they send the tape to every news channel, and the public seems to love the new heroes in the city. They are praised for their work, but the police officials are not pleased. The four friends are then seen watching themselves on TV and discussing ways to up their game. They rent out an old garage as their safe house, trying to be more like Batman, I guess. The police commissioner appoints a top-ranking officer named Ashok to take down the Ungli gang. In the next scene, a group of thugs attack an office. They threaten the small-time business owner to take back the complaint he has filed against a major politician. When the Ungli gang gets to know about their wrongdoings, they are pissed because they know that even the cops can't do anything to bring down the corrupt minister. They decide to take matters into their own hands once again and are seen sneaking into the minister's home. They sedate him and begin their work. The next morning when he wakes up, he is shocked to find his entire house covered in posters of a middle finger. He is horrified to realize that his back has a massive tattoo of the middle finger as well. This was their way of threatening him to stop with his shenanigans. Guys, no matter how hard the world tries, there is no way to stop corruption. Where there is money involved, humans will always do whatever it takes to get it, and that's why the bad people always win. Maybe they'll suffer in life, but they'll always earn more than the average man, and that's the hard truth. The next morning, the news channels are made aware of their last night's project, and the public seems to adore their efforts. We are then introduced to the protagonist of the film, Nikhil. He is also a police officer, but he's unlike the others. He makes his own rules and lives life the way he pleases. The only reason he's still in the force is because his father and Officer Ashok were best friends in the force, so he always sides with him even though he always manages to screw things up. Officer Nikhil calls in the bomb squad to raid a girls' hostel late one night. The only reason he did so was to meet his girlfriend and impress her with the power he wields, but unfortunately he gets caught by the others. When questioned by the commissioner, Officer Ashok begs for one last chance and promises him that Nikhil will redeem himself in the case of the Ungli gang. Officer Ashok then goes to visit Nikhil, but he's busy dancing with women at the club, just like every officer should, lol. When the Ungli gang hang out together one night, they witness an underage kid cause an accident. They realize that the officers in charge will give even a blind man a driving license as long as they have money. So they come up with a plan for their project. They find a blind homeless man, click pictures of him, submit the required documents to the officials and bribe them. Behold, the blind man gets his license in no time. To teach them a lesson, that night when the officer is on his way home, they sneak into his car and abduct him. He is made to sit in the passenger seat, and the blind homeless man is given the keys to his car. He drives like a madman, and the officer screams like a 5-year-old girl to stop the car. Luckily, no one gets hurt and they all make it out alive. The Ungli gang thanks the actor for his work and provides the tape to the news channel once again. Officer Nikhil, on the other hand, has his own plans for capturing and taking down the Ungli gang. The road minister of the state, has ignored the city's plea to fix the potholes on their roads and has instead fixed up the road in front of his own house for his daughter's wedding the next day. Nikhil plants bombs on the newly built road and destroys it. The next day during the celebration, everyone is dumbstruck by the mess created in front of the minister's home. Nikhil makes a video of the same and claims that the Ungli gang did this to teach the ministers of the country a lesson. This video goes viral again and the country applauds them for their bravery on the matter. When the Ungli gang finds out about the copycat vigilante, they are pissed. In the video, Nikhil has given them instructions on where to meet him. The following night, the Ungli gang meets up with Nikhil. He begs them to let him join their group and make him the fifth member of the Ungli gang. They threaten him to stop with his shenanigans as he'll never be a part of their group and bolt from the scene. A few days go by and an old woman is seen trying to get a taxi to drop her off, but all the drivers ignore her as all they want is long fares. Nikhil takes it upon himself to teach them a lesson. That night, he uses his gun to threaten a taxi driver. He makes him drive up to the train station, ties him up and loads him up on a goods train along with his taxi. Since he wanted a long fare, he gave him the longest fare of them all. When the Ungli gang watches the video on YouTube the next day, they are astonished with Nikhil's creativity and consider him as the next member of the Ungli gang. Nikhil had lied to them that he's a college student who's sick of the city's corruption. When the Ungli gang monitors the undercover cop, they believe that whatever he says is the truth as he's actually made up a fake persona and started to attend a nearby college. The next day, they meet him at the designated spot and finally introduce themselves and welcome him into the group. They take him to a hospital and introduce him to their best friend Rajiv, who's in a coma. They then proceed to tell him the real reason that they founded the Ungli gang. Rajiv was the sweetest man and was a gym freak. He trained every day and made his friends train along with him to keep them healthy. He mostly kept to himself and was a good citizen of the country. One night on his routine jog, he comes across a group of thugs assaulting an old man. He steps in to protect the helpless old man. The leader of the thugs gets mad and hits him on the head with a baseball bat, causing him to go into a coma. The father of the thug is a politician and a crime lord who launders money for the entire police department, and hence every cop in the tri-state area are in his pocket. The old man promises to stand by their side during the court hearing, but the man's thugs threaten his daughter, which scares him. So during the court hearing he claims that nobody assaulted him and the criminal is set free as there was no witness. This is why the group decided to start the Ungli gang, to teach the corrupt officials of the city a lesson, since nobody else has the courage to stand up to them. As weeks go by, the five friends party together, train together and even plan their next mission. During this period, Maya and Nikhil start having feelings for each other. They train day in and day out as their next mission is going to be a difficult one. Nikhil on the other hand has other plans for the Ungli gang. He tells Officer Ashok about their project, and on the day of the mission he pretends to sprain his leg and sits this one out. In the next scene, we watch as two traffic police take a bribe from an innocent person. The Ungli gang manage to abduct them and take them to a secret hideout. They threaten them and make them eat their bribe receipts. Little do they know that the entire police squad is now at their secret hideout. When they infiltrate the location, all of them split and try to escape. Officer Ashok manages to capture Abhay and shoot him in the leg. Nikhil on the other hand has a revelation and decides to help his friends after all. He blocks Officer Ashok, giving Abhay a chance to escape. They all meet back at their hideout and Nikhil shows up there as well. He confesses everything to the Ungli gang and Godi loses his shit because Abhay almost lost his life. They cover up their tracks and decide to split ways after the incident. Nikhil feels lost and alone after losing his best friends. When Officer Ashok confronts Nikhil about interfering with the investigation, Nikhil is furious and stands by his friends because he's now seen how corrupt the nation really is. Officer Ashok gets mad at him and decides to apprehend Nikhil. Just then he gets an urgent call from the commissioner. The commissioner claims that the police evaluation is coming up soon, and since he's not bribed the minister, he's going to be posted in another district. Officer Ashok is an honest cop and has never taken a bribe in his life. That is why he has no money to pay off the required bribe. He goes back to his car and apologizes to Nikhil as he's finally realized how corrupt the entire force really is. The both of them then devise a plan to expose everyone in the system. Nikhil summons the Ungli gang one last time and tells them the plan to bring down their arch-nemesis, the minister who's responsible for their best friend Rajiv's condition in the hospital. Officer Ashok calls up the commissioner and agrees to pay the bribe to continue living in the city. He approaches the minister and drops off 5 million rupees and says that the other half of the amount will be dropped off at midnight by his trusted officers. Nikhil and the Ungli gang put on police uniforms and approach the minister's house later that night. They go into the money room and spray a liquid all over the notes and peacefully walk out of the house. A few days go by and we watch as Officer Ashok is interviewed by the news channel. There he spits out the truth about how the entire system is corrupt and that's why he and his team have sprayed sulfur liquid on every note that is laundered. When this liquid touches the saliva it turns black, leaving a black mark on the tongue. All the higher officials receive their monthly payment and as they count the money they lick their tongue, causing everyone to be exposed. They try to remove it but to no avail as it takes a few weeks for the mark to disappear. The media approaches the home of every minister and higher officers in the city and are made to show them their tongue. Every corrupt official in the city is caught and removed from the force. In the coming days, Officer Ashok is made the new commissioner of the city to battle corruption as he was proved to be innocent. The movie ends as we watch Officer Ashok embrace the Ungli gang and let them off the hook for their crimes. That's all folks. Thank you for watching. If you like the video please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Have a great day.